Alrighty guys, just a few dream visions I want to tell you about. Recently we watched a video and there's a comet and it's called WTF or WT119F, which is like 9/11 backwards. So yeah, one of the other YouTubers made a video about it, and I had a dream last week which was about the time of the hurricane at Mexico, that I believe I was in either a South Indian or South Pacific island. It could well have been near Indonesia, it could well have been off one of the islands of Hawaii. You know, it was that type of light brown skin people. But apparently this meteor they're saying is going to strike the South Indian Ocean next month. Now how they can work that out, how they can predict that, I suppose the speed, velocity over time, I don't know the equations they would use, but they're saying that this might not even be a meteor, it might be a man-made object. So things are getting very weird. You know, this year hasn't finished yet. There might be some things yet to happen this year. Everything just on the edge really seems to be. So we know that more and more nations, even though we did the petitions 3 years ago, more and more nations are doing the gay marriage now, which is not biblical, which is not backed by any major religion, and yet the governments are doing it. They're aligning with basically what the Bible predicts. So I was going to say what the Bible doesn't teach gay marriage, but the Bible predicts that these things would happen. You know, if you read Romans, the beginning of Romans, and what's the other one? The book before the book of Revelation, Jude, book of Jude. If you read these books, you can see that in the last days it talks about men and women going after strange flesh. Could well be talking about Nephilim hybrids, genetic experiments as well. You know, transhumanism, which is all covered in the book Starstruck. If you want to get a copy of that, have a read through that. Might give you a good idea of what's to happen in the next few years. Anyway guys, I've been praying, you know, about what to do about the orphanage. I know I made a video about that last year, and it's kind of been a struggle, to be honest, about setting it up. As you'd expect in a lot of the third world countries, there's a lot of bribes and backhanders and so on that goes on. They can slow things up. But I've just been praying about it, and I hope that my main subscribers, you know, not the government agents and not the wacky Satanists, but the real subscribers, can truly keep praying about this, for God's will to come to pass in that area. Already we've been helping children, but obviously to get more of the public involved is what we want to do, and by public I mean other believers in Jesus Christ. We want to encourage you guys to keep on wanting to serve the Lord, because we know that it's through our relationship with God and repenting every day of any sin and wickedness that comes into our heads. I mean, that's how we should walk with Jesus. You know, take every thought captive and bring it into subjection of the Lord. And you know, it's not once saved always saved. It's a daily battle. If you want to remain saved, we should be living our lives in accordance with the Father's will and by faith. You know, as the Bible teaches, the righteous live by faith, and we got to practice living that way. And so yeah, there's another dream that I had last week about some dangerous fittings on Volkswagens. The shares have already gone down 25%. I'm not a fan of Volkswagen myself. One of my first cars was a Volkswagen, but I wouldn't get it again because it's a bit of a petrol guzzler, and it goes through a lot of parts, wear out very quickly. But yeah, other than that, I think that they've actually recalled a line of Volkswagens recently, which we saw that in a vision the other week as well. So we've been praying about all these things, and the Lord's hand's been moving on all these things, so that we can see the power of the Lord. The prophecy is a thing that we're meant to take heed of, so that we can pray for the people involved in these situations. And my dream was that when the meteor was striking this island, that it would be submerged. Whether it was on a plateau, I don't know, but the water seemed to drain away after maybe 20 seconds or so. But it was actually submerged by over 50 feet of water, so I don't know if that's literally going to happen or not. But they were they were strong structured housing. They had electrics and all that stuff, but basically what happened was, after the water was drained away, we went out and said, the Lord has cleansed this island, the Lord has cleansed all of this. And so the flood, or whatever it was some kind of tsunami, or some kind of wave that just went right across and then was basically washed off the plateau. And that's what my dream was. As I say, I'm not sure if it happened last week off the Pacific Islands when the storm came across to Mexico, or that it's yet to happen. And so just to make you aware of that one. If it could be Indonesia or somewhere like that, then I would watch out for that. If you're from the Indian Ocean, around that area, please pray to the Lord, and He will protect you. Thank you.